Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's well. It's around 2:58 a.m. New York time. Very early. I've been up since 12:24 this morning. That's when I opened my eyes and I looked at my iPhone, and there it was, 12:24 a.m. So it's been a long morning for me already here at 1 or 2 minutes to 3 a.m., but London is about to open. Thank you for joining us, guys. I think we're going to have an interesting day today. Of course, CPI inflation data coming out in the U.S. at 8:30 a.m. New York time. That's 1 hour before the New York Open, so pre-New York, but still during the London session. That big news comes out, and there's usually fireworks and explosions and all kinds of interesting things that result from that data, no matter which way it goes. And I'm not sure what the expectations are. I don't really care, quite frankly. All I care about is price action and what the market decides to do as a result of that news, not so much what it is. Now, I care about inflation in the system, of course, because that dramatically affects my experience of life and my families and my friends and everybody I know. And, of course, my friends here listening in part of the Telegram group. So those things do matter. But the actual news release doesn't matter to me. Just the fact that it's happening, of course, does. And then how prices react. For those who are new, this is almost everybody. We've only been doing this for about 4 weeks. We have now over 136 videos, I believe, on YouTube. That's got to be a record of some sort. I've been producing a ton of content. Twitter channel's gone, in the last 3 weeks, it's gone from 0 to 470, I believe, followers in just that short amount of time. The word is out. Our Telegram group is 150, call it, give or take, members, and that's only in the last 3 weeks. So, great things are happening. The word's getting out about what we're accomplishing here, and it's thanks in large part, in a whole part, to your support. You who are listening to this video right now and who care about what we're doing and are like-minded and want to learn more about trading and want to share more about trading. And we encourage you, if that's you and you have a positive attitude and a great vibe, we'd love to have your nature and your personality in our Telegram group. There is no charge for it. We don't charge for anything here. It's Zerillion Trading at Telegram. That's in the everything's in the description, the Twitter and YouTube, of course. All right, we're open, folks. We're open here on New York. It's 3:01. You'll see the first candle that the background color has changed. This is the NASDAQ, as I mentioned. I might not have mentioned it, but this is a 10-minute chart on the left-hand side, and it's a 1-minute chart on the right-hand side, and that's about it. That's what we do here. Keep things very simple. Wasn't always the case. I'm a 23-year chartered market technician, 25-year technical analyst, fundamental analyst before that. Now in my 4th decade of trading. Been doing this a very long time, but I've really evolved into simplicity over the many, many years. And that's kind of what I teach now and what I espouse. And I love indicators, by the way. My brain likes indicators, and I can have 10 indicators on my chart at one time. You'll even see here, let me just show this to you. There's 7 or 8 indicators right there hidden on my trading view, and I still look at them. I like them, but you don't need them. I don't need them. You don't need them. Price action is everything. And you'll see here, this is my chart, and it's got some support and resistance lines. If you don't know how to draw those, go to my playlist on YouTube, how to draw zones. We call these, what people are calling these the czar zones, and they're really just support and resistance, but we have fun with the names. It's not so much even being able to draw them, which is critically important, I believe, but being able to trade them. And I think that's why people are calling them the czar zones, because they're watching me trade these things all day London and all session New York, and getting very good results as a result. Of how we use these things here at Zerillion. The only other screen we'll look at sometimes is this one here. It's called the Four Sisters, so that's what I call it. It's 4 indexes or indices. NASDAQ, Dow, S&P, and the DAX German index there. Looking for synchronicity, congruency amongst these. You can see they're pretty much moving the same. The DAX is now leading the charge to the downside, so we'll watch that. At least I'll have one eye on that to look for possible divergence in leadership in one index over the others, and then make decisions on that basis. All right? You can see what's happening there. Back to the main screen. watching this 10-minute chart. As most of you know, and if you're part of the group, you know that I typically don't trade during the first 10-minute candle of the London session, and the same thing is true in the New York session. As a matter of fact, this first 10-minute candle becomes my opening range, and it will look something like this. It will look exactly like this. For now, this is the range because that's the height or the amplitude of that first 10-minute candle. I think this is probably going to expand before it closes, and that will become my minimum opening range. Let me just change this for 1 minute. I've got just a slightly better label here for you. 10-minute open range, no trades. Does that mean I never take trades in the first 10-minute candle? No. As a matter of fact, yesterday I think it was a 20 or 25 point winner right out of the gates. And that was because of a very specific setup that I saw. You can watch that video yesterday, and it's right there on YouTube, and you can see and hear why I made an exception yesterday and was able to extract 20 points of profit out of the market very, very quickly on the open. Just looking at my Telegram group now and getting some great sharing going on. People sharing charts and ideas ahead of the meat of the session here. All right, guys, here's the opening range still, right? We still have 4 minutes and 45 seconds, call it 5 minutes left. All that talking and all that looking and all we've done is killed 5 minutes of time here, right? Say the word killed, of course, very lightly. It's very important to watch this initial flurry of activity and see what this market may be thinking. Right now, not a whole lot. It's just jumping around, as we often see on the opens here, especially lately. You'll notice how my opening range is expanding now, right, to accommodate the amplitude or the height of this 10-minute candle. The reality is that I will expand this range not just to the candle, but then when this candle begins to come close to its close, those two words are spelled the same, but they sound different, and close to its close, I will actually expand this to incorporate this and this, right? This is the near term, very, very close resistance, and then I'll do the same thing for support. So my range will actually look something like, let me just hit the undo button there. We'll incorporate, at least this right here. I may include those wicks depending on what I see on the 1 minute candle. I'll explain that to you when it happens. Right, but for now, this is my opening range. Just continuing to watch. Watching the unfolding of this initial flurry. Nothing much going on, obviously, and this is again what we typically see. This is where the institutions and portfolio managers and banks and foundations and endowments and long-term money and short-term money comes flying in here. A lot of retail investors, of course, too, which don't have that much power to make these early decisions. There's a lot of scalpers kind of getting whacked here, trying to decide which way this should go. Of course, we go down to the 1 minute chart. You'll see even more of a flurry. This is actually fairly orderly today, actually. Right there's the first candle of London, and pushing up now. Nothing for me here. As long as we remain in this range, there's no trade for me. There are ways to trade this, micro scalping and things of that nature. It's just not what I do, and it's not what I'm doing here on the channel. I can do it. I have done it. I occasionally will do it in my own account, but I won't be advertising that here. I use advertising very loosely because it's there is nothing to advertise here. Just sharing for the love of the game. All right, 18 seconds left in this candle, this first 10-minute candle, and we have our opening range. At least I do, right? I'm just talking about the way I do things here. I'm going to try to bring this forward and then just flip it over to my my group so they can see what I'm thinking. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking here too. And if we can get past this line here, I think we'll have relatively free-flowing action to there. This is what you see there with the arrow that you're looking at. Lots of indecision going on. You can see that this next candle now is kind of trading in the middle, or just was a second ago, in the middle of that first candle, which is that minimum open range for me. This is the expanded range. So for now, indecision. So what I do typically, guys, is I'll come in here and I'll talk about what I believe the pre-market looks like, or what the pre-market does look like, what I believe that the session might evolve into, just to give you some ideas as to where to go from here. I post this video right away too, so that if you're trading this particular session, this London session today, you'll be able to see this and get some ideas from it. So this is my opening structure. This is on the 10-minute chart, right? Opening structure for the NASDAQ. It'll look very similar, most likely, for the E-minis or the S&P, and maybe even the Dow, right? Even the DAX, even the FTSE. But I'll just give you some ideas. So here's what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to shut this one down. I'll be looking for a break outside of this range, ideally a break and close, up or down, I don't care which way it goes, and then a pullback creating some kind of a wick, and then a break below that trigger candle. That's the one that closed beyond the range. So the prior candle, looking for a potential entry. It's not quite that simple. I need to be able to see things like symmetry and proportion, and watching what's happening on the 1 minute chart for a resourceful structure there. If you watch my videos, you will understand what I mean by that. This is at 20 EMA on the 1 minute. You can use whatever period you want. It doesn't really matter that much. I just use a 20. I've gotten to know it. It's my, I understand its personality to a large extent and what have you, and so I trade from it. But I'll be back if we have any good opportunities here. I'll send them out to my Telegram group ahead of time. Just big picture ideas. It's not a signal group by any stretch of the imagination, although people do tend to trade based on some of the ideas that I send out. But you'll be able to watch these trades pan out, win or lose, from beginning to end. So before I get in, until after I get out, and how that pans out. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have an amazing day. It is Thursday, November the 10th. I can't believe it's November already. And we'll be going into this deeper into this London session now, and of course later New York. Hope to see you later. Talk to you soon, guys. Take care.